There's a balance out there and life becomes a lot simpler. You don't just learn everything in one school. Really just learn as much as you can. I grew up loving the water. I think in high school started paddling and kayaking and really started to want to be in the ocean a lot. And went to college. I went to UH Hilo and loved it and got really into Hawaiian culture and learning about who I am, where I come from. And through that process, then I got introduced to the voyaging canoes. Pretty much ever since that first time I got on the canoe, I've been totally hooked, and it's like I've never really left the canoe. Then in 1999, we did a voyage and we sailed from Hawaii to Micronesia. And we took with us Papa Mau Piailug, our master navigator. You guys heard of him?
I know him.
He was called a living ancestor at the time. So it's like we were sailing with our ancestor. And so the experience was totally profound. 3 months later, when the voyage came to an end, we asked him, well, what do we do now? And his response was, you have to share what you learn and what you experience. And so Kānehūnāmoku Voyaging Academy is really an outcome of that experience.
Being on the ocean as much as you have, what do you think are some of the top things that you've learned?
One of the biggest things that I've learned is the balance. There's a balance out there and life becomes a lot simpler. Humans, we seek that stuff out. And it's because it's where we find the better part of ourselves is there.
Could you describe some of the challenges that you faced either throughout your college career or your actual career, and how did you end up overcoming those obstacles?
I think in college, I think it was about trying to, especially in undergraduate, and then moving into graduate school, it was about understanding who I am and how I relate to the other parts of me. You're trying to figure out your identity, right? Like, okay, because most of us aren't pure Hawaiian. So how do you incorporate all of you, right? You cannot just walk around just half or a quarter or a third, right? You have to be your whole self.
So what advice would you have for kids that are going through those times and trying to find themselves?
I'd tell them all to go on a voyage. No. Come, let's go on a voyage. What our Hawaiian kupuna also said is, "A'ole pau ka'ike ka halau ho'okahi." You don't just learn everything in one school. Be very open-minded. Really just learn as much as you can and then internalize that and formulate who you're gonna be. If you look at navigation and the system of navigation that Mao has used and that his ancestors used for thousands of years, that type of technology is like mind-blowing, and when you're out there for 20 days at sea and you see nothing, and then they're like, we're gonna see the island today, and then there it is. It's like, how did they just do that? Now there's all these computers and you can put information in and it can give you all these answers. To me, they're the most brilliant people that ever walked the planet. It's hard enough just to use Google Maps to get to some place, right? And your ancestors could navigate for thousands and thousands of miles. I think for us is we need to retrain ourselves to gain that type of mind, to put down the cell phones and to get away from those things so that really the real technology of the environment can come in.
If I were to drop like you and like a crew off in the middle of the ocean like right now, just with a boat, do you think that you'd be able to find your way back?
Only if we knew where we came from. So you cannot just drop us,
Yeah.
right?
God.
That doesn't work.
That
doesn't work. You actually have to know where you came from.
So it's just finding your way back.
It's just you're always finding your way back. No matter where you go, you're always going home.
Like, that is so relevant.
Right? No matter where you go, you're always going home. The main thing is that you have to know where home is in order to know not only where you're going, but how to get back.
So what if you do lose your way? There's still something in you that will always remind you.
For me personally, yeah, I think so.
That's a really nice and powerful thing.
The first lesson in navigation when you're looking at the star compass is that you're the center, no matter where.